I can't believe that we actually have an early court date.
When my sister goes after a criminal, she doesn't fool around.
Augusta.
Yeah, this is great. You know, C.C. Cappell's going to finally get what he deserves. Listen, I can't tell you how grateful I am for the way you've pursued this case. I mean, in spite of everything that the Cappells tried to do to stop you.
If you hadn't done all the groundwork, I wouldn't have been able to do any of it.
Yeah, but because of you, we're going to win this case. And with everything that you've been able to drag up from those memos, I can't see how we can lose.
You're not going to lose. C.C. Cappell's going to pay through the nose and end up behind bars just where he belongs.
I like the sound of that. Listen, I got to go, okay? If you need anything from me, just give me a call, okay?
I will.
All right, great. Thank you.
What is wrong with you? You seemed very distracted when Dr. Clark was here.
I know. I'm sorry. I hope Scott didn't think it was him.
No, you were very professional. I don't think he noticed anything, but your sister did.
I can't help thinking about Meyson at the chapel.
Well, you've got all the evidence. He knows you've got him dead to right. He was just bluffing.
No, it's not that. He's become evil. There's something wrong with him, really. I'm worried. I've never seen him that cocky.
Oh, it's bravado, darling. You've got the evidence. We have witnesses to his break-in. We have everything we need.
I just need your support, all right? I really need your support, that's all.
Of course. I just don't want you to back off because of his scare tactics.
I'm not going to back off this case because of Meyson. It doesn't have anything to do with him.
Look, I know this has been very difficult on you, putting Samantha's father in jail and pressing charges against her grandfather.
He didn't give me any choice.
Why don't you just let one of your assistants take care of it? We could pack up Samantha, go to the south of France, and you could forget about Meyson, use the time to get...
Nobody else in my office can handle this case except me.
Well, maybe one of your assistants... I'll get it.
I'm Lydia Saunders. I'm here to interview Miss Wainwright about the upcoming Capwell trial.
Oh, I don't think so. The last
No,
thing
it's all right. I called her. Come on in, Lydia.
Thank you. You can set up over there, Court.
Thank you.
Julia, do you really think you should be doing this right now? I don't think it's a very good idea.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I think it's the right thing to do. I want the public to know why I'm prosecuting this case. And if I'm going up against CC, I'm going to need all the support I can get.
Back and relax.
All right, don't say I didn't warn you.
What's wrong?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Well, it's too beautiful a night. I want to see the moon.
We just got our visual back.
Here.
I know. I really shouldn't have come at all. I've got a very busy schedule tomorrow at the hospital, and I've got to start at dawn.
But it's still early right now. I mean, I thought we were going to have a nice, long evening together.
Well, maybe some other night. Look, I really have to go.
No.
I'm flattered.
That's just the beginning.
What did she she thinks she's doing? Why didn't she let him go?
I don't know. If she got his shoe off, she's seen whether he has the scar.
Maybe she read the whole file.
What do you mean? She's trying to prove his impotence?
I don't know. All I know is this is too risky. Don't turn off the lamp.
Wait a minute, how
Wait a minute, I'm just getting started. Now, you said Brandon was spending the night with a friend.
Well, he is.
Sure as hell ain't gonna let Bunny spoil our fun. Now, come on. Let's get back to the rodeo. This next event we hadn't even tried yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I need a breather. The movie's over. Where'd the clicker go? Here it is.
Well, don't worry. Duke got the girl, too. He always does. You know, I believe you're starting to like old Sonny and his western ways.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had this much fun since...
Don't say it. That's the agreement. You mention Keith's name, and I saddle up and mosey on out of here.
I know. I never met a man who could attach so many strings to one romantic evening.
Yeah, you've been known to do that yourself.
Well, not anymore, I'm not. I mean, Brandon doesn't deserve this. He should be brought up in a house where schemes and blackmail aren't as common as breakfast and lunch.
I don't recall eating breakfast here.
I'm serious, Sonny.
Are you seriously not going to blackmail CC?
No, I'm seriously going to blackmail him. After all, he deserves it. But after that, after I get my hands on that money, that is it. I'm going to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah, I bet you've never done that before, have you?
No, I mean it. I'm going to become a whole new person. I'm going to set a good example for Brandon.
Seems to me like you hadn't been setting the best example in the world already. Brandon's turning out okay.
Well, I don't know why. There's something innately good about that child.
Yeah, well, as long as we're dreaming, why don't you tell me what you plan on doing with your cut of the money?
You mean my half of the money?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm gonna get out of this rented dump and buy myself and Brandon a home. And I'm gonna join the PTA and the Women's League and all those fancy schmancy clubs that Sophia Capwell belongs to.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think they'll have me?
No, I don't think you'll change. I think all that intrigue and blackmail's in your blood like bourbon and branch is in mine.
Hey, listen to this. We're talking about Julia.
The interview will be an exclusive in which Miss Wainwright discusses her upcoming case against business tycoon C.C. Capwell. Join us at 11.
What the hell does she think she's doing?
She's got herself a court date. I guess she doesn't want to waste any time.
Well, I guess I better put my plan into action right away.
What plan?
Don't worry, darling. It's a doozy.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hi.
Is everything all right?
Yeah. I just got such a great letter from my dad.
Oh, well, you must have wrote it before he knew about the wedding.
Actually, it's about the wedding.
You're kidding.
No. I was afraid to open it because I thought it was going to be this lecture on what a big mistake I was making and everything. But, listen to this. Dear Heather, after you told me yesterday that you and Scott had decided to get married, it suddenly hit me that you're not my little girl anymore. I realized I was a fool not to have picked up on that before, but I suppose I've been a bit too stubborn to accept it. Scott and I may not see eye to eye on a lot of things, but there's not a doubt in my mind that he's a good doctor and a good man. I just hope he can bring you the happiness as your husband that I couldn't as your father. I know I've been a long time in coming around, but I give you both my blessing. I love you, Dad.
Wow. It's a shame that he can't be at the wedding.
I know, but you never know my daddy. He may just surprise us.
I can't believe that he just wrote that.
I know. Scott, if our wedding can make my dad write this, there's no doubt we're doing the right thing.
No doubt at all.
I can't see a damn thing.
Should have gotten rid of it when she saw the scar.
If she saw the scar.
I can't believe how lucky I was to meet such a great doctor.
Doesn't bother you, my being. What does he mean by that?
What do you mean?
A lot of women are turned off by gynecologists.
she's real good at this.
Good girl.
You asked me if I was uncomfortable before. Now it's my turn.
What?
You're sweating. I don't make you nervous, do I?
No, of course not. It's just hot.
It's gonna get a lot hotter, too. What's wrong?
It's, just going too fast.
It's not going fast enough, Zach.
No, now look, I can't. Just don't push me.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Some people in Santa Barbara are saying that these charges you filed are a personal attack against the Capwells.
That's simply not true. When this case was brought to my attention, I treated it the same way I handle all of my cases. I wanted to make sure that the evidence warranted the charges.
Cece is guilty.
Augusta, can we, edit this?
Edit that out.
Well, it's the truth. He's not going to worm his way out of this one.
Augusta,
Well, why don't you just lynch him and get it over with?
this is obviously not the best time to be doing this. Would you, shut that off for a second? Thank you. Would you mind telling me what the hell you're doing here?
I caught your commercial. What, are you trying to get your own courtroom drama? Julia's Justice or something like
There's nothing
that?
that I'm going to say here that will influence the outcome of this case.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Are you getting this?
Would you turn that off for me, please? Trust me, this isn't newsworthy. Do you think it's a good idea that we discuss this in public? What do you think?
Oh, I see. Now that I'm here, she wants the cameras to stop rolling.
Well, are you saying that the district attorney has resorted to unorthodox methods?
Well, I think it's obvious how weak her case is. I mean, she pulls strings to get the court date moved up, knowing full well that my father is at his most vulnerable, spending every waking minute trying to find out who kidnapped his granddaughter. I think it's a new low in prosecution.
The Capwells have done everything possible to prevent this investigation, and once we take this to court, you will see just how low they stoop.
Exactly right.
But what about the fact that Cece Capwell's granddaughter has been kidnapped?
I have great compassion for her parents and the rest of her family. However, that has no bearing on this case.
No bearing? The man is in no state emotionally to defend the case.
He wasn't too emotional to send you and Gene over here to steal evidence, was he?
What?
That's it. We're done with this, all right? Turn that machine off, and we will take this to trial, and you'll hear about the rest of it then, all right?
Yeah, you may hear about more than the DA would like.
You stop threatening me.
Why don't you just admit that you're doing all this to get back at me?
Trust me, you are not worth that amount of my time.
Well, you weren't singing that tune a couple of months ago. If the wedding hadn't been called off, none of this would have been happening.
Now, I asked you nicely once. Now I'm telling you, turn that damn thing off! Right now! Turn it off!
You can cut it now, Corey.
Thank you. One of the smartest things I ever did was not marry you.
Bravo.
This is a news interview, folks. It's not divorce court.
You're absolutely right, Lydia, and I apologize profusely. I have nothing else to say.
The defense rests.
Do you know that you are not welcome in this house? Is that clear to you?
Give me 5 minutes alone and I might change your tune.
Don't try to bluff me, because I'm not going to back down no matter how slimy you act.
You think you know me pretty well, don't you?
I don't think I know you at all. All I know is that I have an airtight case, and there's nothing you're going to do that's going to change that.
Then how much can 5 minutes hurt?
You aren't worth 5 seconds. I won't give you 5 damn seconds. I am going to check on Eden. When I come back, I want this...
Cretin, four, moron.
You get this man out of my house before I get back. Is that clear? I'm sorry.
You heard her.
Don't you want to interview the defense?
Just let her be safe. Just let her be safe. You know, if you can, and just let her come home. Just let her. Hi. Oh, I finally made it in here.
I knew you would when you felt ready.
Yeah. You know, she was never in this room, but I really feel like she was. Do you think that a bond between a mother and her child goes away, you know, when the child is gone?
Eden, I don't know.
No, I mean, I really want to know. I don't want to feel like I'm being desperate or something.
You know, I've never been a mother myself, but I think that bond that you're feeling, I think it's very possible.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'd like to know that I could look here and I could imagine her sleeping in her cradle. I think she's going to come back. And there can't be that much evil in the world. I mean, there just can't be.
It's all right, ma petite. I know you cry for your mother. But soon you will have a new mother. I will take you to her, and you will be safe. La, la, la,
He's taking us way too far.
I know.
I'm sorry. No, I've been under a lot of pressure at the hospital.
Just get rid of him, Celeste.
Maybe we should go. I'm sorry. Celeste, it's just... nothing like this has ever happened to me before. I don't know what's wrong. Celeste?
Shh, it's all right.
No, it's not all. Good night.
Good night.
God, I'm glad that's over. You were right about her. She did a hell of a job.
She sure did.
Hi.
Hi.
The guard let me in.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm, just waiting for news and everything.
You'll hear.
Yeah, I'm just really afraid.
I know you are. Cruz is gonna find her.
This is waiting, It's driving me crazy. I just don't know what to do.
Have you heard anything from Cruz?
No, but I think I'm gonna go call him, okay?
So, what do you think of the room?
I think it's perfect.
Cruz and I, we really wanted to make it perfect for the baby,
Why don't we go downstairs and have some tea?
No, I want to stay here.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I really feel hopeful being here. And this is Adriana's room.
I can see that the room is filled with a lot of love.
He's gonna bring her back. I mean, he will. It's just a matter of time.
It was too big a risk.
You did a good job, pal. But you sure as hell pushed your luck.
Like every time I felt scared, I just remembered you guys were over here watching me, and I knew if anything came down, you guys would be there. We got what we were after, Cruz. I saw the scar, crescent-shaped, on his right ankle. It's there. And he is definitely impotent.
Did you get the feeling that Jack suspected anything?
It was hard to tell. I mean, he was studying me every second. He just, he wouldn't give up. It was like he was playing some kind of game, He just wouldn't give in.
Yeah, well, you should give up warning by figuring that guy out. You couldn't figure him in 100,000 years, believe me.
He might have given up if you'd given him a chance.
Castillo.
Cruz, hi, it's Heather. I called the station and they put me through to you.
What's wrong? Is Eden all right?
But I think you should come home and talk to her, Cruz. She's trying to put on this front of being strong, but I'm concerned about her. I think if she could see you, hear your voice, it'd help.
Okay, I'll be there in a few minutes. Thank you, Heather.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I want to take a break, though. I want to check on Eden.
So what now?
Well, we do what we've been doing. We wait.
But I thought after what we got everything from. I mean, we've got enough.
We
right
don't
now,
have enough.
don't
We don't have enough until we have the baby. I'll be in touch. All right.
Well, come on, Miss Saunders. What about equal time? Don't your viewers deserve to hear both sides?
My viewers aren't interested in your marital squabbles.
Yes, but I'm talking about this non-case Julia's trying to prosecute. You let her spout her propaganda. What about me?
All right, but you stick to the case.
Are you out of your mind? He does have a point, Mrs. Lockridge. Well, I'll give you a stronger point. You interview that criminal in this house, and I will throw your camera out the window and have you charged with trespassing.
I was invited here.
Well, you're being invited to leave now.
Come on. Mr. Capwell?
Well, you may have won this skirmish, Augusta, but the war is just beginning.
Mason, I've never known you to use such simplistic metaphors.
Yeah? Well, you know what they say.
No, what do they say?
Well, if they haven't told you, I'm certainly not going to.
Mason, I seem to remember that you told Julia you had something very important to talk to her about.
You remember right.
Yes, well, it's obvious she's not going to be in the mood to see you again, so why don't you just tell me what it was and I'll relay the message.
I'd rather drink poison.
Oh, well, that could be easily arranged.
Good night, Augusta.
How's Eden?
Well, sometimes she seems real strong, but I'm afraid she's on the verge of breaking.
When you think about everything that's happened to her, I don't know how she gets through it.
Hope. But the longer it takes, the more the weaker the hope gets.
She's asking for Cruz.
I just called him. He's on his way, Julia.
All right, good. I've got to get going.
That's fine. Scott and I will stay till Cruz gets here.
All right, you know where to reach me if she needs anything at all.
Thanks a lot. I know that Eden really appreciated having you here.
I just hope they find her baby.
Yeah, we all hope that. How about you? How are you doing?
I really am having a tough time trying to understand how Eden can deal with this. I mean, having her baby taken away.
Honey, they're gonna find the baby.
I hope so. But what if they don't, Scott? How long is she supposed to sit in that nursery and wait?
You can't think like that.
I know. I'm sorry. Hi.
Hi, where is she?
She's up in the nursery.
Is she all right?
She's better now that you're here, I'm sure.
Okay, thanks.
Hi.
Hi. Did you find out anything?
No, I didn't find out anything, but I will.
Well, I won't give up faith.
Well, I need that from you, you know. I need that from you if I'm going to get through.
Sweetheart, I believe in you. I just don't believe we're ever going to get her back.
Eden, this is no time to start thinking like that.
What else am I supposed to start thinking?
My mother once told me a story. It was about the importance of courage and the strength that it would bring you. It seems there was this woman who lived at the edge of the ocean. husband was out to sea when a terrible storm started to build. For days, the people from the village came to her and begged her to abandon her home. But she refused. She told them that she couldn't until her husband came home. And every morning she would go to the water and pray that he would return before the storm came. But when the storm finally arrived, he had yet to return. So she just went into her house and waited, and she prayed. And for days, the wind blew and the rain made floods, and many people in the village lost their homes, but the woman's love for her husband and faith in his eventual return protected her. And when the storm finally subsided, her home was untouched. The next morning, her husband sailed over the horizon and ran into her waiting arms. I want to believe in that story. Don't you?
Are you going now?
I have to go.
It's all we ever seem to be doing these days is saying goodbye. I guess that's what life's all about. I never got to say goodbye to Adriana, though.
You didn't know this was going to happen.
I should have. I should have known. You know, Julia said that this was the perfect room. She said we decorated it with love in every corner. And I really agree with her. I mean, the crib that you had made for her and all the little clothes that everybody, the dolls and the toys people gave to us out of love.
Darling, what are you saying?
It was too perfect. It was too perfect to last. Remember when she came into this world, it was just you and me? And it was like, it wasn't happening to two other people on the entire world. It was just happening to us. Joy like that, it doesn't stay. Life really isn't fair.
Darling, I mean it. You can't give up.
I'm not. I'm just...
Look, I know.
No, you don't.
What?
You don't need to comfort me with embraces or comforting words. You really don't have to, because I believe in you. I believe you're going to do something about it. I believe you're going to get her back. I really take comfort in that. I really, really do. And if something horrible happens... If something horrible happens to Adriana, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to take it, because something should happen. Something should happen. There should be justice.
The baby is all I care about.
Please make him pay. Make him pay.
He'll pay with his life. I promise. Now I really have to go.
I know. Cruz? I didn't mean what I said about not needing you to hold me.
Miss me, darling?
Yeah, right. What happened?
Oh, things moving along.
Well, does that mean your plan went the way you wanted it to?
No, not exactly.
Well, what happened? Did you blow it?
No, I didn't blow it, but I couldn't get 5 minutes alone with Julia.
Well, you probably didn't manage to accomplish much.
I wouldn't say that. I managed to completely destroy your television credibility.
How?
Watch the 11 o'clock news. You know, I wish we had time to get back in the corral and pick up the rodeo where we left off.
Well, why don't we?
Well, because I gotta go pretend I'm Father Michael.
What, have you gone completely around the bend?
Oh, it's the only way I could get Julia to meet me.
So, what, have you got a Father Michael mask and a collar hidden in the closet?
No, I left a note and signed his name to it. Told her to meet me at Johnny's. She'll be there in a flash.
She'll be there, and I imagine she'll figure out you're not Father Michael pretty quick.
I only need a couple of seconds to put the plan in action.
What plan? Will you please tell me about this plan? Enough with the mystery already.
You'll find out soon enough.
You know, Julia is not a fool. Do you really think she's going to fall for this, Sonny?
Does Mason think I'm some kind of an idiot? This doesn't even resemble Michael's handwriting.
I can't believe I ever even thought the man was clever.
He's up to something, and I'm going to find out what it is.
You've got the evidence. You've got the man nailed to the wall. Just don't go near him until the trial.
I'm going to go talk to Father Michael.
Now, that could be a mistake.
He's making the mistake, not me. He's playing a game with me, and I'm going to find out what he's doing before he gets a chance to start anything.
Are you all right?
Yeah. I just can't help thinking of the terror that Eden must be going through right now. Scott, even if this ends happily, even if they find the baby, how can you put something like this behind you? I mean, how could you ever feel safe leaving your child alone again, letting her out of your sight? I don't know.
If you think about all the terrible things that happen in this world, Heather, you won't even step foot out of the house.
Scott, I know, but we're talking about a baby, the most innocent thing in the world.
All this is making your fears about having children even worse, isn't it?
Well, look at how easily it happened to Cruz and Eden. I mean, there were guards on duty 24 hours at the hospital, and the baby still was taken.
You have to understand that this is the work of a demented man. Now, we can't put our lives in limbo just because we're too afraid to move forward.
I don't know.
Listen to me. There are all kinds of dangers out there. Now, everyone does what's humanly possible to guard against them. But the joy of birth and life is a lot greater than any kind of fears that you'll ever have to face.
Yeah, but when I look at Eden right now, I have to wonder.
Sweetheart, if you asked Eden right now if she regrets giving birth to Adriana because of what happened, she'd say no. Cruz and Eden's love brought that child into the world. And it's their faith that's going to get her back.
I hope you're right.
I am. Honey, don't let into the fear, okay? Have faith in our love. I do.
How is she, Cruz?
Well, she's okay now because she's asleep. I tried to get her into the bedroom, but she wouldn't leave the nursery.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know what the hell to do right now, I'll tell you.
Cruz, if being in that room, if being in the nursery makes her feel better, if it helps her along, that's the only thing that matters right now.
Yeah, I know that you're checking out other doctors at the hospital, but if there's anything that I can do, just let me know.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate. What I would appreciate is that the two of you would spend some time here. I mean, I hate to leave her like this, but I have to try to stay on top of the search, you know.
Well, do you feel that it's getting any closer?
I think there may be some light in the distance, yeah, maybe a glimmer.
I don't know how you did it, but somehow you managed. You were so cool. You were level-headed, even knowing what you did about Zach.
I guess it was just years of being on the street, you know, learning how to hide my fear.
You were scared underneath that?
Scared. Oh, I was falling apart at sometimes. Oh, I just pulled up my old professional facade, you know?
I'm sorry you had to do that.
I wanted to do it, Michael. I wanted to. It felt great. I was just surprised that it brought back all those memories about being a hooker so quickly. Yeah. I mean, never knowing if your next trick was going to be your last, you know?
I remember that feeling as a cop. Sometimes you would charge into a room and you never knew if you'd be coming in too fast and you'd be going right into open fire.
God, at least you had people to back you up when you were on the street. I never did. Except for tonight. Knowing you and Cruz were there really meant a lot.
Well, it doesn't mean that what you did wasn't incredibly brave.
Well, I am glad you think so.
I do.
Hello? Yes, he is. Hold on, Cruz.
Yes, Cruz. Yeah, everything seems to be quiet, just like we thought it would be. Right. I'll be right there. Cruz wants me to meet him at his house.
Okay.
You'll be all right?
I'm gonna be fine.
All right, you know what to do?
Yes, I do. I locked the door behind you. Right?
Right.
Will you get out of here? Stop looking at me like that. I'll be fine.
Guess I fooled you.
Oh, you're the one. I was so certain it was Father Michael that wrote that note.
You did think he wrote it. You're here, aren't you?
I was curious.
I knew you wouldn't be able to resist.
What do you want?
Those memos you have against my father.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
You honestly expect me to hand those memos over to you when you and Gina couldn't even steal it?
With a smile of gratitude.
I give up. What is this? Is this stupidity defense? You can't just want something from me without offering me anything in return. What do you got there? You got some money?
Not a dime. I'm not stupid, Julia. I know you wouldn't take a bribe.
I wouldn't take a threat either.
I'm not making any. I was hoping not to have to be specific, since this is rather painful for me.
Get on with it.
I should think you'd be happy to give me those memos for Father Michael's sake.
What are you talking about, Meyson?
I'm talking about a priest who succumbs to the weakness of the flesh. I know all about you, too.
You don't know anything.
And the thing that makes it so painful for me, Julia, is that I didn't hear about it. I saw it with my own eyes. You can imagine how it broke my heart. I was hoping to overlook it, but...
You're crazy.
Save your breath and think. Think what it'll do to your reputations. You'll certainly be drummed out of the DA's office, and he'll certainly be excommunicated or exorcised or whatever they do to priests who fall off the wagon.
You are completely out of your mind.
This is right up Lydia Saunders' alley. And if she's not interested, then I'm sure the rags could make some very creative headlines out of it.
I'll deny it.
Yeah, you may. But what about Father Michael? What will he say when he's questioned by Lydia Saunders, or maybe even the Pope? Now, I don't have much use for the man, but I think he'll tell the truth. So what's it gonna be, Julia? Do I get the memos?
I'm Tom Brokaw. From world events to events closer to home, NBC Nightly News covers the stories that affect you and your family most. For news that matters, turn to NBC Nightly News.